This is what I've been messing with for about the last, maybe a month or so. Been farting around with a little bit at a time. I'm going to call it my one-legged man for my iPhone. It's going to be an iPhone one-legged man. I'm going to go ahead and drop my iPhone into bad boy, and you'll see what we can do with it. We just set it right in here. The auto belt clip is what holds the phone in place. I can rotate it 360 degrees while it's mounted in the one-legged man. I can also stop it. I can also rotate it where she's looking straight down at the ground. In fact, that's the pedestal that's my 10-pound weight that Caesar gave me. It will also rotate all the way over to the other side. And look at me. We'll bring it back up. There's what she is right there. Now if I raise my threaded rod, I get that much height, and that will run 360 degrees also. Now I'm going to lower the threaded rod back down. Let's get to the bottom. Now let's show you what it took to build this bad boy. I've taken my otter clip-on piece and I've cut the corner off of it. If you can see right here, I cut that corner off there. It used to look like this one right here. I'm going to try to make me a stand for my cell phone to set in, and you can probably see the reason why, because this is probably shaking right here because I'm holding it with my hands. I'm going to try to make this clip here where I can attach it onto a small L bracket that I can mount on a stand. Let's see how that works in a little bit. I have a piece of flat steel that I found in my scrap. I'm going to I've been scribed off a mark. Let's see, right across here. And I've got a little pin punch here, here, and here. I'm going to try to set it up where I can lay my clip part of my otter in this area right here. Then I'll make a line right here and fold this up. So what it'll be looking like is the otter will actually clip on this end right here. I'm hoping to make it where it'll be removable. And once I get the holes drilled in it and get the slot cut where the clip on the otter will stay in place, we'll look at it again. This is about my piece of sheet metal, and what we're looking at is right in this area right here. I had the 3 pin punch marks at. What I did is I drilled 3 little holes in there and worked it with some files, and now I've got me a slot that I can fit my otter piece onto. I'm going to set the phone down, clip the otter in it, and you'll see what I'm trying to do with it. Just 1 second. And this is what I'm trying to do here. The piece of metal that I have right here, there's been a design change. I'm not going to fold this up. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees down here. And what it'll do is it'll allow me to, I'm going to try to pick this up and look at it at the same time with the camera. See, I'll hold it like this. Where my thumb is at will be the screen looking back at me where I can look at it. This portion up here that I've cut out, that's where the camera's going to be at, or the eye for the camera. And what I'm going to do is rotate this flat portion right here up like this, and I'm going to bore a hole in it, and it's going to be a 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch bolt. I'm going to take a step back and let you look at what I've got so far. I don't know if you're able to see this or not. This shaft right here is the top of a threaded rod. This is a 1/2 inch nut, a flat washer, and what I've did is I've slid it down inside of a piece of pipe so I can raise and lower the camera on top of the piece as much as I want. It'll set down in there 4 feet. I'll drop you down where I can look at the pipe. And right now there's just a small plate down here that I threaded on, and I'll just mount that to something maybe 1 foot in diameter, or maybe even just put a 2 or 5 pound weight on the bottom of it, slide it down over top of the pipe and just set it down on the bottom and see if that'll hold it stable enough. I haven't made up my mind on that yet. The idea is that I can make me a stand where I can shoot videos in my garage without having to stop every few minutes, and also where you can actually see some work being done other than me doing something and then pointing at it and telling you what I did. I'll set up the bracket for rotating and also for up and down movement. I'll show you that in a little bit. Okay, this is what it looks like. Hopefully won't be 2 more of these pictures of those shaky hands. That's what I'm trying to put this together for. Let's see here. This is the otter clip-on. This is the flat piece of steel, and you'll see the hole right here. This is the hole that we bored in it. Mount the clip-on. I can rotate it up and down. See, there you go. Should go up and down. My screw is in here mounted loosely right now. I'm on a L bracket. This is a 90-degree flat piece of flat steel. I'm going to kind of get in here tight a little bit. You'll see a mark right there. That's a felt tip pen mark. I'm going to put a 1/2 inch hole there. This will mount excuse me, in the top of this right here. We'll put a nut here, a flat washer, another nut on top, and a lock washer. I'll show you what that looks like once I get it hooked up. And I have to punch the hole in the other piece of flat steel. And the idea is to get to where you don't have to look at videos that I'm making for you with Mr. Shaky Hands. Okay, here's all of our parts laid out. This is the L bracket that's going to lay on top of the shaft that's going to rotate. This is the 1/2 inch hole that I cut into it. I'm going to flip her up. This is the 1/4 inch hole that I cut in the upside of the bracket that'll go through this hole right here. That'll allow it to rotate, rock back and forth like this. This is our piece off of my, I don't know if you can read it on there, it says Otter. It's part of an Otter holder and bracket that I never did use before. Trim the corner off. These are the 2 bolts that's going to hold this piece to the stand. Right now I'm just using a 1/4 inch bolt flat washer, lock washer, and a nut. I might put a wing nut on the end of this. I'm just going to assemble this, let you look at it, see what you think. Okay, I have my cell phone set up on just sitting on top of my vise right now. Let me go ahead and just do my final adjustment on this. Final assembly, we'll call it, before we actually tear it apart one more time for painting. First nut goes on here. Then our plate goes on over top of that. We'll adjust the nut down a little bit. I'll turn it sideways so you can see it. Ease her down a little bit more. Then I'm going to put a flat washer here. Lock washer goes on next. We'll adjust her down a little bit more. Then the final nut goes on. Comes down on top of the lock washer. Locks it in place. Take our nut bolt, flat washer, lock washer. She goes through the pivot point. Put the plate on it. I still do not have the weight on the bottom of this, so I'm hoping this thing will stand upright for us while we finish this up, just so you can see what it looks like. Lock washer goes on it. Nut goes on it. Mr. Otter goes on last. That's what it'll look like once I get my base on it. I'll take it apart one more time. I got me some engine paint over here. Probably put me a little bit of engine enamel on it so it'll keep from rusting up so bad. We might pull this out, shorten this out, and put a wing nut right there, so I'll have to put a wrench on it every time. Let's see here. I'm going to adjust this up just a little bit. And probably a lot of clutter in the background, but that's what it's going to look like. Hey guys, I think I'm going to put this thing together for the last time. This is the 10-pound weight. You can see it says on there, "Thank you, Caesar." A friend of mine at the shop gave it to me. This is the Otter belt clip. You're going to mount the camera in it. Here's the piece of galvanized pipe. It's got the flange on the bottom of it. Right next to it, you'll see it's the threaded rod. And all we're going to do is set that down inside the piece of pipe. And this is what we got right here to hang the Otter in, right here. What I'll do is I'll go ahead and assemble it, stand it back up, let you look at it again. There it is, fellas. Got it all assembled. The Otter's on the top there. The pivot, the piece of angle iron, threaded rod, galvanized pipe. Caesar gave me the weight. I did pay for the galvanized pipe and the threaded rod. Rest of it I found in my scrap, and the Otter belt clip, I wasn't using it. It was sitting in my closet. So let's try it out and see how she does. Thanks for watching.